Hi, are you a business owner that has a business using a name different from the formal registered name in your state? If so, you're using a trade name. I'm Katherine Taylor, the lawyer for business owners, and I'm going to explain for you what a trade name is, what it isn't, and what you should do if you're using a trade name. So first, what is a trade name? It's usually an informal name or a phrase even used by a different party, and usually the different party is another registered entity. So let me give you an example. The corporation that my practice operates under is called Katherine L. Taylor, PA. PA stands for Professional Association. That's not catchy, it's not cute, it's not brandable. So a couple of years ago, I decided to use the trade name Taylor Legal. What I had to do, however, is register that name with the state, and I'll get to that in a minute. Another example would be Maryland Plumbing Services, LLC. If Jess owns Maryland Plumbing Services, LLC, but doesn't want to use that long name and just wants to use Jess's Plumbing would be a trade name. Okay, so that's what a trade name is. What is it not? What a trade name is not is a trademark. A trademark that is registered with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office is something altogether different. That is an intellectual property right that can be registered and owned, that can be owned if you register with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. It's a completely different kind of area of law. And even though there are some similarities and overlaps, that's not what we're talking about today. So what we're talking about today is the state law equivalent of a doing business as or a trading as name. If you're using a trade name, like for instance, when I decided to use Taylor Legal, you must register that trade name with the state in which your entity is registered already and in any state in which you do business. That is very important. And also what's important is that you need to make sure that the owner of the trade name is registered as the formal entity under which you do business and not you personally. All right, so why is that important? That's important because basically what the trade name does is it puts the public on notice as to who the public is doing business with. So if you don't tie that trade name by registering it and having it be owned by your entity, then if somebody's looking at that trade name and wondering who they're doing business with, that trade name is going to be tied to you individually. And what happens then is that the limited liability protection, which is the reason, or at least one of the reasons why you formed an entity in the first place, could really disappear, because in many respects, it could be as if you're acting as yourself. So if you're using a trade name, you need to register it with the state in which your entity is already incorporated and in any state in which you do business, and you need to tie that trade name to your full entity name and not you individually. This is all kind of confusing. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. You can find my contact information at www.taylorlegal.com. Thank you.